Hi, this is Krista at the Secret Yarnery. Welcome to Crochet Podcast, episode 169. So we're going to start out with finished objects, which I want to say a lot of. I was like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to, I've crocheted a lot. So I feel like I have. So we're going to start out chronological from the last podcast, which would be, well, let me move this tea out of the way. I feel like I'm just going to spill it. Hold on. This is the flower bouquet blanket, my first one. So the good thing about this, worked in a spiral. So when you start, can you see that center? I hope you can. Hope you can there. So it's not like a solid circle in the middle. So it has a little more grace, a little more drape. So you can just kind of hold it and it'll automatically get all those flowers even. And then you just kind of put your arm behind it, tip it, and you have the most amazing bouquet. Now, of course, you put it the other way around in the crook of your arm and then pull it through or pull it up. And there is your amazing bouquet. The flowers on this one, I spaced out more than the tutorial. So if you like the green, like more of the leaves showing through, this is every other leaf got a rose. Or I made this with Savor Glitz. It has a little bit of sparkle in it, if you can see. Same thing in the center. So you still have that. I cannot see you. I hope I can see you. I still cannot see you. Okay, I think you can see that center. So it just gives you a spot to pull to make sure all your flowers are going to line up. This, I made it bigger because it's mine. I love it. I put all my happy colors in there, all my happy rose colors, and I put a flower every leaf and a half. So one between a leaf and then one leaf over. Do you know what I mean? So every leaf and a half has a rose for this one. So less of those leaves poking through, which is how I like it to be. But depending how you like it to be or how many roses you want to make, you could space out your roses either which way. I'll show you them side by side. So same pattern, but different sizes. So the amount of leaves you see, this is every other leaf gets a rose. And the amount of leaves you see, which is this kind of sagey green color, this is every other leaf, skipping a leaf. So that's how you can customize your own. And of course, you can do your center any which way. It doesn't have to be white yarn. That is like a bucket full. That's so many roses. Isn't it good? So good. So I have these tucked up in my shelf, and it just, every time I walk by, I'm like, it just makes me so happy. So how I do that? Same here. So I just grab that center spot where it's super easy. And then I just kind of fold it up, like tuck it down, and then rest it in a bookcase or wherever you want flowers to be. Just give it a little fold, and then set it down. I love it. Makes me happy. Makes me so happy. Well, it wasn't even my idea. I heard it was suggested during a live chat. Someone was like, oh my gosh, I would want one of those as a shawl so I can wear it around instead of carrying it around. So that hatched this beauty right there. Let me grab it. Isn't that fun? It's really fun. Let me show you it outside. There's not much space in here. So the great thing about this, this took me a while. Figuring out the neck. Also, it is not one of those straight across shawls because I don't like, they don't stay on. So that it has 3 extra panels basically. If it was gonna be, or is it 2 extra panels? 2 extra panels. That would be a straight across shawl, but I added 2 more panels. So this much more to the shawl to make sure there's enough to come over your shoulders. But the great thing about it, make sure I'm showing you the right way around, is the neck. Because this is my emotional support shawl. So I didn't want it being flimsy at the neck, just relying on a treble crochet to like, what? That is not emotional support. I wanted it to be like finished. I also didn't want to go around and put a border on it. No, we're still one and done. Do you know what I mean? But that is the trick about it. Let me go and grab all of the fails. Oh my gosh, I got my yarn back. So then I get my yarn back. This took ages. Well, let me put it on. And then I'll go get the fails. You will freak out. I have a lot of fails to show you, actually. It's so great. I did find white sparkle yarn after I made this one, and I was like, oh, I should use the white sparkle yarn. But that being said, these are all the fails. This is all the white yarn I get back now that I can show it to you. Look how many. Okay, I'll count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fails in here. I frogged some back in the beginning. I was like, oh, let me just, start again. And then I was like, no, you got to keep it because, oh, that's another one down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Okay, so let me pop this one onto the table so you can see it as a bouquet. It's fantastic. You, of course, could make yours. It doesn't have to be as big. It would be super cute as like a capelet. See if I can get it back there. Isn't it cute? Okay, so that's my favorite. Now, I don't know where. Let me see if I can. Oh, yeah, there we go. That makes sense. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here is one of my first tries. Can you see that center? So that's the shape I wanted. I'm fine with the shape, right? I want just like that is the shape I want, right? Because I don't want, I want panels to automatically fall down your front side. I don't want it to be one of those ones where you're like constantly like trying to get it around your, no. I want to put in enough stitches so that it wants to do that all on its own. So I'm happy with that, but I don't feel like that neck join. I don't even know if there's a right way to show you. But I don't think that neck join is it's not pretty. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, wow, that's so pretty. It's like, it's crochet. Okay, I get to frog you back. I'm excited. Then I did another one. I don't know what's different about it. Is it the number of panels? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is the number of panels. This is 9 panels. I'm like, that's cute. But then I'm like, 9 panels, that's a lot. Like, I also don't want to waste my stitches. So I think that would be better. So I did that. Where's the one I did? But I also didn't like, that center where it just looks messy. I don't know which one I did first. But I'm like, what if that was like a chain we worked into? So instead of a loop, we work into a chain so that everything has like a home. It's coming from somewhere. It's not a space. Try it again. Tried again. This is just, no, like, what's that? See, now it bugs me. I think I got the spacing okay. That's cute. But now what's that? My whole life is going to depend on little strands of yarn at the very edge of my shawl. That just makes me feel stressed out. So I got this far, and then I'm like, okay, I love it. It's great. It's working out good. The center is good. The number of panels are great. Shape is good. I went to film it. While I was filming it, it just made sense what to tell you to do, which does not involve that treble crochet. Like, your life does not revolve around a treble crochet. it works out like that. So see how this is, you know, also single crochet. So there's no treble crochets. It's a proper border around your neck. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to tell you to do. And I'm like, I'll just keep working on mine, and I'll just won't film, you know, that. And I'm like, it's gonna make me crazy. I don't want. I wanted mine to be the best. So, like, not better than yours, but it would bother me if I didn't care enough to fix this in the very beginning, right? So I started another one, but now I can get all this yarn back. I'm officially out. This is just inexpensive Kenyan acrylic. I have a lot of white saver, but I don't want to use it for like pattern making, because as you can see, it's a lot of yarn. And if it's expensive yarn, I feel stressed out, or it stresses me out more. I'm not stressed out, but it's not as enjoyable, because I'm like, you know, a ball of yarn for like $1.50. I'm like, it doesn't matter. A ball of yarn for like $6. Yeah, that matters. So anyway, that's how I do my pattern making. And I don't frog them back as I go, because if I stop making it for a while, or I move on to something else, or something comes up where I can't be working on it continually, and I get an idea, I'll be like, oh, what if I did that? But I've probably already done it. So if I keep my samples, I can be like, what about that? Oh, well, go and look at it, and then see how you can make that one better, instead of like thinking you haven't done it and starting the whole thing again. So I keep these until I have made the pattern. And now until the podcast, so I can show you failing is okay. It's yarn. We're supposed to, it's, you know, you got to figure it out one way or the other. So that is all the fails it took me to figure out how to tell you how to do the best neckline for your emotional support bouquet. And yay, I can get that yarn back now. I'm so excited. Like, I went to town yesterday to get white yarn, and they were out of the brand that I really like. Anyway, this is my emotional support bouquet. Why I call it emotional support bouquet. You know the chicken? Let me get the chicken. Okay, there's my chicken. So what's great about them, they fit underneath your arm. Like, I never got it figured out before. I was like, I don't need an emotional support chicken, but it's just something to have underneath your arm. It fits. That triangle fits right there. I think that's what they mean by emotional support. A little chicken. Now, not in a bad way. Also fits in the same spot. Hugs your arm. Look at that. Pours over like a bounty. Look, the roses are just, they're everywhere. This is my emotional support. I love it. And these are my colors. You of course, do not have to do the brightest, craziest colors, but I love these colors. So that's what I did. And I think I showed you in the tutorial, but I did 2 different sizes for the pink. So there's bigger pink flowers, a larger and a smaller. So there's a larger, there's a smaller, so that it looked a little more natural. The orange ones are smaller. And I figured it out. Let me show you. Maybe if I showed you, how can I show you? This way, I guess. Or no, wait, in the middle. Okay. So that is my repeat. So an orange, small pink, big pink, small pink, orange. So 3 hot pink flowers and then 1 orange. Just so when it's emotionally supporting you, it's not just an equal amount of flowers, because I do tend to buy like 3 hot pink, you know, bouquets and 1 orange and like mix them together. So that's what I wanted to do here as well, and I did. So I love it. It's really fun. I almost wish I didn't use white, or I wish I saw my sparkle yarn, although it's kind of a gray color. Anyway, I wish this was more sparkly or like fancier than just white yarn. So for you, feel free to do something fancier than I did, but I still love on it. It makes me happy. So those are my roses. Oh, wait, there's more. And then there's more. Hold on. Where is it? Tip. There we go. That's my little small one. So I just poked this one into, this is one I made for the tutorial. I just poked it, there's my hair, of course there is. I just poked it into a teapot. See? There's the spout, there's the handle, and how cute is that? Like, really cute. This one, I want to say I put the flowers every 1.5 petals instead of spaced out like the blanket. So this is has more density of flowers, I guess, if you went in and like poke them out. I just shoved it in, but even on the edge, see how they fall down? Like it's a plethora. There's so much goodness there. Love it. So those are my roses. I have another, wait, let me show you quick. I'll show you a little bit. I went to the gym. My legs are really sore. Sorry if I sound like, a little old lady that can't get up, but I did a lot at the gym. Also, this colorway, so that is 3 yellows and then a white for a smaller bouquet, but I'll show you more about that later. This is a whole other thing, but cute. That's my roses. Ooh, also, so many things. I think I can reach everything from here. I'm really going to try. All right. So also, the wandering granny, wandering with an A, not wandering, wandering granny stitch shawl, rectangular shawl, which I love. It pretty much matches everything. I'm wearing a bit bright colors now, but generally it matches everything. And the border, trying to show you the right way around, there we go, is really cute. So it just adds kind of like matching drama on just the 2 ends. So when you're wearing it, I can show you this one outside too. So it just adds a little bit of drama on the ends, weighs it down, makes it look a little bit special. You could just use the colors from your cake or the colors of yarn you had, but I used all mine and I didn't have any more. So I only had the turquoise and the purple left. So I just spaced those out with white. But the tutorial walks you through everything. Same with the written pattern. So that one is super cute. Oh, the yarn, I use Cake Splash. Now here is something for you if this is of interest to you. I buy from Ice Yarns because I live in Africa. I do not have Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Premier Yarns, Red Heart, or Lion Brand. Did I mention them all? Anyway, I don't have any of the big box yarns. I buy straight from Ice Yarns, who generally manufactures yarns for the other companies. So if you're savvy about it, you can kind of find out which ice yarns they are and where you can get them in the rest of the world as a not ice brands, like as branded from for another company. So this, thank goodness, because all I know is it's Cake Splash from Ice Yarns, but I got an email from Shell Crochet. I'll link her channel down below. So there's Shell Crochet. And she sent me an email and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm working on the very same yarn. It is called Premier. I'll put this on the screen as well because I might say it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is Premier Yarns. It's called Cupcake Frosty, which got me thinking, what do you think about maybe during live chats or something like that? We can have like yarn of the week, and during a live chat, we can all kind of talk about it, or even we could do it during a podcast if that's more of your preference. But I would show you a yarn and then you could comment, like if you know what yarn it is, you can comment what yarn you think it is, and we can, as a group, as a community, match up like a fancy ice yarns to a fancy yarn that you have access to that's probably exactly the same yarn. How they change it is the amount of meters or yards per cake, or sometimes it's like a skein, sometimes it's a cake. And then one will sell as 200 meters or 200 yards or whatever. And then another company will sell it, or Ice Yarns will sell off the surplus, the extra stock, as like 150 yards per cake, or they'll change it. So it's not exactly identical. Sometimes it is. Was it Hobium? Hobium was dead smack exactly the same as ice yarns. They did not, there was no doing the size amounts. But with the big box ones, they do slightly change the meters like that. So that's possible, but it's exactly the same yarn. So if you're interested in that, so this is Cake Splash this week. What yarn do you want matched up? Let me know that in the comments so we can do it in an upcoming podcast. And also, what if you have any yarns that you're like, oh, ice yarns, this is this other yarn, also let us know. Because I would like a whole, like I'd like to be able to tell you, like, oh, this, I used ice yarns, blah, blah, blah. I don't have access to those stores. I don't have access to the yarn. But I have access to ice yarns, and most of you have access to those stores. So we could put all that knowledge together to help everybody out. So if that's of interest to you, let me know what ice yarns you would like a, what do they call it? A comparable yarn to, or how you can find, what is it? You know what I mean. I don't know how to say it. Y'all tell me how to say it. If you have an ice yarns that you want to find locally available, that's a good way of saying it. Let me know which one, and if you do know of any that already match up, let me know in the comments. There, I said it. That was like a tongue twister. Anyway, this is the Wandering Granny Shawl, written pattern, right and left-handed tutorials, all that. I'll link all these things in the show more under the video. So you click the dots, you click show more. I think you have to click show more again. There's like twice you have to. Once just opens up the top, and then you click it again, and you get the whole thing where I'll have all the links for this stuff. I don't know where to put this. Heap it up. There we go. Also, I got this finished. Love it. Isn't that like very, very fun? Very, very, very fun. So this is just like a burlap shopping tote. They call it linen. It's not linen, it's burlap. It's waterproof on the inside. The handles are really nice cotton. It's pleated. I just got it from like my dollar store. But I thought, wouldn't that be so cute for like C2C panels? So I did it. I thought I was being a genius. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I made this a little bit small. You know how you do a book cover? You make it a little bit smaller than the book, and then the book, it stretches and it looks like so crisp and fabulous. I did not take into consideration that a little like a flimsy shopping tote is not going to hold out crochet. So in the tutorial and in the pattern, I tell you, make it the same size as your panels. I did not. So I had to fill this up with yarn. Thank goodness I had enough. Filled it all up with yarn, hung it on a hook behind my door for like a week so that it would stretch out. It is still not perfect, but y'all can't tell. I can tell. So it goes on the bottom and everything. So you make your panels. I did 5 panels. So front, back, side, and the bottom. Then you sew those together. Took me a while to figure out how to sew it so you can't see any of the stitches. And then you put it around the outside of your bag and just stitch it along the top edge, just like needle and thread. I used my sharp tip yarn needle with normal thread and just went like back and forth. And now it is stunning. I love it. It's so happy. So what a great way to like upcycle. And you can make it, of course, any size, even if you had a flat bag, like a flat tote. So just like the 2 sides, you could just do 2 panels and just sew them together, or a long panel and sew the sides together like a sandwich, like, fold it together. So you can use this pattern to make a C2C cover for any bag. Also, if you haven't done C2C, don't stress about it. It's actually super easy to do. I walk you through it all the way up. We start at the orange and then go up. I started all my squares within the same order. So I always started with that orange, and then the cantaloupe, and then the bubblegum pink, and then the hot pink, and then the white. So I walk you through all the way, not all the way the whole way, but until you get it, till there's you'll get it. By row 6, you know what you're doing. So you're going to love it. And you could also do it like a stash buster. You don't even have to you could do anything. This is a 2-row color change. So I changed to color every 2 rows. and I really like how it looks. I think it's great. I still do have a pack of yarn in the bottom to hold it out, because it was that or crochet panels bigger, and I didn't want to. So I'm just keeping it, like, I figured it's kind of like blocking. I'm blocking it with yarn in the bottom right now, but it's pretty much ready to use and do as I say, not as I did. Right? Anyway, so that's my C2C crochet tote cover. Another good thing, the handles. I love that. Someone else was going to crochet over the handles, so the handles kind of match the bag. I like it just kind of natural like this, but crocheting over them is also a really great idea. So that's the C2C crochet tote cover. Now I got to see if I can get it back there. Ooh, it's going to fall off. There we go. Nope, it's going to be fine. Okay, so that's back there. Oh, that got me on a bender for the bucket hat. Did you see the bucket hat? So cute. This is the finished result. I'll show you it first, and then I'll show you my fails, because you'll be like, what? But if I show you my fails first, you'd be like, you would lose confidence in my crochet ability. You'd be like, I'm not really sure. Okay, so here's the finished hat. Isn't it cute? So in the pattern, in the tutorial, there are 3 sizes. So small, medium, large. This is medium. So small would be more for a kid. Large would be more for like someone with a lot of hair, or like a big man with a lot of hair. So this is my easy bucket hat, granny stitch bucket hat. I love it. This took a lot of trying. Let me put that there. Move my chicken. Hi, chicken. I have not filmed my chicken yet. It's on my list of things to do. Hi, chicken. He's great. Go on the chair. Okay. All my hats. Oh, that's not my hats. Where's my hats? The fail. So I'm just so happy about that white yarn I get back. I'm so happy about it. It's just sitting down there. It makes me happy. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm getting that white yarn back. All right, so this is my stack of fails. 2 of them aren't bad. 3 of them aren't bad. 4 of them aren't bad. 4 of them aren't horrible. Okay, so here's where it started. This is my first attempt at a hat. There's something wrong with my increasing. Like, I didn't do it. It is like a bucket, like literally a bucket or a bowl. But what I did, I got this far and I'm like, okay, well, stop wasting yarn on this. So I just put it on and I just kind of grabbed at the side, just at the bottom. And I'm like, if it was like that, it would fit better, right? So then I took it off and I counted how many extra stitches there were. And then I took that many stitches out of the increase at the top of the hat. So, I mean, it worked. And then I made this one, which does fit the top of the head. I ran out of purple yarn. I just used like scraps for doing the pattern making stuff. And I ran out of yarn and I'm like, is it worth, like, am I going to wear a purple hat? Probably not. Do I need to finish it? No. Right? I'm like, wouldn't it be cool to have one that matched my bag? I'm like, yes, of course it would. So I grabbed the same colors yarn and went to go to a soccer match, watch my kids play soccer. So I just sit there and crochet during their games. Thankfully, granny stitch, I don't have to look at it, so I can still watch them play, but I can still be crocheting. So I don't feel like I don't want to say wasting time. Do you know what I mean? But you know, you have a lot of things to do and you have to sit somewhere for 3 hours. Can I not? Yes, I can. So I made this and I wasn't sure of like how many. I brought this with me and I brought the yarn. So I was like, I was using this as my pattern. But now I wanted to finish in the hot pink. So I just kind of guessed how many rows I needed of each color, because I hadn't finished the brim part. And then I was like, wow, I didn't even get to the pink at all. But I mean, it's still a hat. It's a bit low, but you could also, it could be one of those hats, you know, where you flip it up. I don't know. It's not terrible. It kind of does an automatic flip. It's not bad, actually. You know, when you're making things, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so horrible. And then you go back and you're like, wow, that's really good. That's what I feel like with my crochet. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm really hard on myself. And then I go back, I'm like, it's not horrible. Anyway, not what I was looking for. And I definitely wanted it to end in the pink, like in the hot pink. So I have not sewed in the ends on this one. All ends in there. So shake the ends inside. And then I'm like, okay, this is all right. At least, you know, I ended like the hot pink for the brim. I'm like, I could manage that. And I like the band of colors. But then I'm like, that whole white thing at the top, you see that? Not really into that. But I mean, it worked. The pattern itself, I'm comfortable. I'm like, yeah, the pattern is good, but you have to repeat, like you got to figure it out so that the colors and everything work. So I'm like, okay, maybe what I don't like is this whole white. Now looking at it, I think the white's kind of cute. I should probably sew in the ends. So then I did one. I'm like, what if I started, right? So one row, and then 2 rows of each color going down. And I think I planned it, like whatever color I started, like I planned my colors at the brim. I wanted this hot pink, so then I just did reverse up to see what color I had to start with at the top. So this one's cute. It's not bad. There's still something weird about it. Like, I think it's just too even. Like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I mean, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's not like super divine, which I think did sew in my ends. This one is. This is like my all-time best. So still ending with the color I want. Has a good repeat. Starts the same at the top. So cute. But can you see the difference? Do you know what I did different with this one? Let me know. I'll give you some time. 1 row of white. So 2 rows, except at the beginning I did the same. 1 row, and then 2 rows of each color, except for white. White just gets 1 little row of chiclets. So it's not like a solid row. It's just dotted. It's like little polka dots around. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. So in the pattern and in the tutorial, I show you how to do this, which I think is great. Also thought I should do it in like blues and greens instead, and I should also make a large size. So it's all sized on row 5. I show you in the tutorial and in the pattern. So this is increases all the way around, which I'm cool with. And this is to the side where I'd start the brim. So I was going to show you something about that in the tutorial or whatever. But then I'm like, I stopped liking a couple of those colors. There's like a concrete, and then my beige looks pink. Am I pointing at the right one? Something in there looks pink. It's like a beige color, but I was like, oh. Looking back now, it's not horrible. It's cute. But it's also too big for me, so what are you doing? Just tell people how to size it. It's going to be fine. You can make a bigger hat. This is a bigger hat. And the colors aren't as bad, but you can kind of see. Like, this is a beige. It looks pink. Or maybe it doesn't in the camera, but it does to me. So some of the colors, but it's a good stash buster. And this, I change color every row. So this is just constant color changing. Good for scrap busting or stash busting. And then I made an all one color hat for if you don't want to be like, you don't want to change your color, or you have a favorite color, or you just kind of want to be incognito. So then you just do it in one color. Still cute, right? So same pattern. This is even easier because you're just continuing. And then you can never see your join because I join with a single crochet and chain 2 to get to the next row. So you never see it. Like no matter where you look in the hat, you will not see a step up. You know, like that chain or slip stitching over to the space. I cannot, I won't do it. So that's the one. I also thought about doing a granny square brim. I did this instead. I don't know if it's going to work. I would do a different hat, but you'd get the idea of what I was going for. So granny squares along the edge, kind of like that. So I do the top, and then I would connect it to my granny squares, and then go out to the brim. I don't know. I can't see what it looks like. Does it look all right? Actually, it did work. I don't know. That's food for thought. And I don't know about the colors. Oh, see, yeah, the wrong amount. For the size, let me move it around. Oh, it stays on. That's pretty good. Like, I don't know. I didn't want it to turn out rainbow. It's kind of cute. What do you think? Should we do this as a tutorial? I'm like, where's my phone? I have to take a picture. It's cute. Anyway, food for thought. If you think we could, we should do a hat with incorporating granny squares for like the brim part of it. Let us see. For me, I'd have to change. I'd have to alternate or like add another color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can't do 2 colors. I'd have to do 3 colors or something like that. So you don't have to double up on something over there. That's probably what stopped me from doing it. I'm like, eh. So bucket hat, definitely something. If you haven't made one, just start. So fun, so quick. It's like a very fast project, and you end up with something you can wear, which is great. What else have I been working on? Oh, so also, now I got to put my hair up before I get too hot. Okay. Also been working on this. Well, you would have seen it. The tutorial would have come out last week, but let me show you. Hold on, let me get it ready. Can you hear it? Can Cozies, Minecraft Can Cozies. Right? In 4 different sizes. I also made one for little baby Red Bulls. So this is 500 ml. They also have like a complete cozy along the bottom. So it's secure in there. They're all super cute. Little dirt blocks, the Minecraft dirt blocks. Complete. So your drink stays colder, your hands stay dry. You could use cotton yarn. I used acrylic because I had acrylic. I have cotton, but not in like nice colors that are like, I just don't have good cotton right now. Or like you don't need good cotton, you need thick cotton, like worsted weight. So I just used acrylic for mine. Plus I'm like, they're just cheap and cheerful, right? If you wanted, you could do cotton for the base, for that part where we start out with cotton, and then that would be like a very absorbent coaster. I tend to drink my bevies quite quickly. So, acrylic coaster is fine for me. But if you are concerned about soaking up the extra water, the condensation, a cotton base would be amazing. And then just follow the rest either in the cotton yarn that you have or acrylic. So I used acrylic, so just the brown and then 2 shades of the acrylic. And you can't really see the can through its textured. It totally just looks like Minecraft dirt, right? I was like, what? I wasn't making Minecraft dirt. I was making a coaster with the stitch. Oh, I made a bunch of coasters. Where's my coasters? Hold on, let me get my coasters. You'll have a laugh. Let me pop these over here for a second. Oops. Okay, you'll have a laugh. Oh, they're right here. Oh, good. I don't have to get up after all. I was making Can Cozies like that. I'm like, that would be cute. That'd be a Can Cozy. That was not my first one, by the way. Let me start chronologically. What did I do? Oh, okay. Well, I tried something like that. So 2 rows double crochet and then single crochets, back post single crochets, and then clusters. No. Number 1, I don't like that join. You see at the bottom? Like, can you see my nails sticking through there? I don't like that. I want it to be like a solid, so no to back loop. Oh, this is also back loop. Also, no to back loop. Those are my nails sticking out. It doesn't feel secure. So this is single crochet, double crochet. I'm like, that would be like, that'd give me that texture that I was looking for. And then I'm like, you know what you got to do? Oh, I don't know what I did here. Oh, so then I did, it looks like treble crochets and then single crochets and or half doubles maybe, or singles. And then into that, I did back loop only. But what is going on? Way too many stitches. That's getting you nowhere, right? That's not good. So then I went back to what I thought it should be in the beginning, which is 2 rows of double crochet and then back post half double crochets to start the edge. And then I was going to do Speedy Granny Ruth, but I've already done Speedy Granny Ruth for a Can Cozy. Although Can Cozy just slips up, it doesn't have this built-in coaster. But this is a little bit different. We also need a name for it because it's like Speedy Granny Ruth on a date because it's in pairs, right? Or twins or something. Let me know if you have an idea for it. So you do 2 drop stitches or 2 double crochets down below instead of just 1 down below. So it's kind of like Speedy Granny Ruth on a date. But if you have another name for it, let me know. I thought that would be perfect. While I'm looking at it, I'm like, that looks like Minecraft. Like that looks like, the pixels? It looks like dirt block. I actually didn't think, actually it's Mir's idea. Mir's idea was, he saw camouflage. I tried to do camouflage. Yes, those are stripes. So don't look at the bottom, but you can look kind of like up higher. And I did try to do some camouflage action up there. Harder than you think. And don't start me on the tails. We don't have to sew in the tails. You can knot them. It's fine. But camouflage was just harder than you think. So it got me like a little bit sad. Now let me show you why. You know it. You know it. You know it. Okay, here, look. Now you can knot all of those and cut them off. It's fine. That's still a ton of knotting and cutting, like not to complain. Jiminy Crickets. Look at all that. I'm like, I don't even want to. I don't even want to. I mean, that's pretty much hair on a puppet. Right? That's not on. So I'm like, no. But I'm like, it also looks like, so I use the same colors for my first one. Minecraft dirt. Let me pop it in a cozy. I mean, put a can in it. See? Just like that. Totally looks like Minecraft dirt. Not crazy about the colors because I was going for like the camouflage look and then I pivoted to Minecraft dirt. What? Now I'm in love with it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to. So I changed the colors from Army to like fun Minecraft. And then for the tutorial, I switched to a lighter colored yarn. I was filming it and then I'm like, can you even see? You know, if you're working with a dark yarn, what? You can't see it. So I did one in like a light colors, but you can totally see those stitches. So cute, right? Total Minecraft. So loving this. Loving that. So this is a little Red Bull version. So I made the 4 different sizes, 500 ml, 330 ml, which is this guy. 330 ml. It's the tall skinny soda cans compared to the Red Bull. So Red Bull's 250 ml, right? And then this is a normal soda can, like in the West. So this is a 300 ml. I think I got it right. Anyway, it's all in the written pattern. There's sizes for all 4. Cute, right? So that's my latest. I also, hold on. I have it over here. Oh, and now I have to show you. I have to show you. I made my own for me. You're going to guess the colors. Guess the colors. Just in your mind. You're going to know it. Ready? Where's my hat? Right? It totally go. I'm looking for my hat. Here it is. Right? So you're like, do. Going around. You have your bevy. I use this. This is how, like, if I need a soda, go in the car. Yes. Pop one on. And then it literally stays colder. It's like an insulator. It's acrylic. It's like a scarf keeping your soda cold. So that's mine. It matches my bag, matches my hat. I'm in love with it. But it did inspire a whole other event. So super happy about that. Super excited. What else? I feel like that's a lot of crochet, right? Oh my gosh, I'm talking so long. Okay, hold on. So kids are all doing good. Mir just finished his last exam last week, which is not his last. He has some more coming up in October, but he's finished this set of exams, so he's at least doesn't have as much stress on his shoulders. He's finishing his A-levels, which is year 13 or first year uni if you are in American or North American system. So he is, well, it's a big relief. He's doing really good. He's trying really hard. He's doing well. The boys also doing really good. They're also into soccer these days. They have joined a soccer club, which is fantastic. I didn't know. I thought soccer was attached to the school. So your soccer team was whatever school you're at. So find a school that's good at sports, or, go paint or whatever. Go on the swing set. Like, I didn't know that there was actual soccer academies. There's actual soccer academies. I guess I crochet a lot. I don't get out. I don't know. I didn't know about it. So anyway, wanted to share that with you. Keep them in your thoughts, in your prayers. And what else? I have a whole list of things, but I think that's it. I think I probably talked too long too, didn't I? I did. All right. Well, I hope y'all have a super great day. Is my battery going to die? My battery's even good. Camera's getting hot though. Okay. Well, y'all have a super great day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and stay hooked. Okay. Crochet Podcast episode 100. I wrote it down, honestly. I wrote it down. Like literally. And then put it down. I swapped it out for a camera. Okay. Crochet Podcast. We are ready. Okay. So excited. I gotta check if I'm recording. Okay. Nailing it. I have sound. I'm recording. I put in a fresh battery. I'm excited. Okay. Let's go. Hi, this is Krista at the Secret Yarnery. Welcome to Crochet Podcast, episode 169.